Greetings and salutations, dear viewers. Welcome once again to Frägment Friday. Frägment Friday, of course, is where every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, outstanding circumstances, not counting, I play .hack Frägment for all of you while streaming. I get to chat with all of you while I'm doing it. I also get to play alongside all of you, and we accept donations while this is going on. What's the problem?
I found a switch on the back of your... I don't know what it does. I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with it because it works right now.
I think it's a end the world switch.
Probably. I'm also joined by Madam Berry.
Hi.
And Flower, I'm sorry to say that there's really not. I very much like my privacy. I don't like people being able to contact and join in a proper discussion with me just at will. If I opened that up, I'd be talking to hundreds of people constantly. So I do make an attempt to keep my... not only my real life, but my free time sort of to myself. I'm sorry.
Unless I eat it up. I got scared for a moment because it was like, hey, there was an error connecting. And I was like, oh no, don't do this to me now.
I'm level 10.
I'm still level 5.
I gotta get you that cable. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, you do. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It froze.
Oh no.
Alright, well, I'll be somewhere eventually.
Oh, that's right. It's not on. Let's boot up that server and get it going.
Hopefully.
Do I play Star Wars: The Old Republic? I saw you talking about that before the stream started. I do not. And honestly, I don't have a huge amount of interest in it. I'm just not a huge Star Wars guy, to be honest. Oh man, we're in. So while we're waiting around in here in town at the very beginning, I've been having. That's a very good representation of the problem I've been having. Oh man, $1 just in from a Tyrann Master who says, "Hello, Naka and Barry. I've been a watcher of yours since the .hack series. I didn't have too much, but I wanted to give something to support you. I hope you both have fun tonight in .hack. Thank you!" And then immediately followed by $10 in from Kuma, who says, "Hey, Naka, hope you had fun last week. Glad to be here for the whole thing this week. What's one thing you want for Christmas?" I'm actually a very simple person. I don't have a lot of demands or things that I need and want. I'm perfectly happy just kind of being. One thing I would really love is the ability to slow down time, because there's a lot of things that I want to do, and there's not enough hours in the day.
So it didn't freeze on me this time.
Yay. But now that we're here at the very beginning, let me give a real quick update. Oh man.
Oh man? Oh yeah, I'm logging on. That's what you said, oh man, too.
Tanaberry.
I'm a turnip bear.
Let me give a quick rundown of the stream, though. Every Friday at 8 p.m. Oh, and somebody else is getting on. Maybe. I guess not.
Oh.
Every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I stream .hack Frägment along with Madam Berry. Streaming this, I play on my own private server, so if any of you feel like playing along and have the game set up, the server is in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. It's Peach Boot. You are more than free to join in. In fact, we encourage you to join in. I won't even enter a dungeon without at least 3 people.
Peach Boot?
Peach Boot. So
Also,
I am very much looking forward to somebody being able to hop on and play alongside us. Not only that, if you are interested in setting up the game to play, $2 from Itinerant... Yes, I did pronounce that correctly. Itinerant Soldier, who says, "Been watching you for a few years, and this is but a small thanks for all the videos and entertainment you've given. Keyword, Jormungandr." Thank you very much, Itinerant Soldier. But if you are interested in setting up the game and currently do not have it set up, check just below the stream. You can see a big old link that says, "So you want to play the game," or something like that. Follow that link and it'll take you to a rather extensive walkthrough on how to actually set the game up. If you want to play on emulator, you can. It's much more difficult to set up than playing on console.
It's also a pain in the butt.
It'll also kick you every now and then, so be prepared for that.
Emulators are not happy.
But it's also free. If you want to play on an actual PS2, it will run much more consistently, but there's a little more overhead. And by that I mean you have to have a network card and a swap disk and all kinds of fun things. But all of that information is in the link if you want to go check it out. With that said, the other thing we're doing is, as I mentioned, this is my own private server. $10 in from Kaiser, who says, "Yo, Naka, Barry, wanted to stop by and say what's up and also wish you all well. Won't be able to stay long tonight, but still wanted to stop by and wish you both well. P.S. But Naka Eternal. It's Om Naka."
It's Butt Naka.
So I am running on my own server, and that leads me to, if you notice in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, it lists not only who the most recent and highest donator of the evening is. We take donations as long as this stream goes on, and the highest donator of the evening gets to add a keyword to the server. The maximum is 10 characters long, I do believe, and you only get to choose 1 keyword, but it's super cool, and you will permanently have something added to the server that we are all playing on. So that's kind of cool.
You can't feed grunties in online mode.
Yeah.
That makes me sad. I don't want to feed my grunty.
So with that all done, we also have one final copy of Risk of Rain to give away, because I do believe Kuma decided to rescind his. So the highest donator of the evening also gets a copy of Risk of Rain. So have fun. Also of note, while we're playing, I very much like to read the chat. I think it's super cool. I like talking with all y'all. Just doing random things, talking to people, having fun. However, I do have to glance at the chat while I'm doing other things. $3.14, Oh Man Pie.
Oh man.
From World Conqueror Duang, who says, "What ho, good Naka! Though I cannot give the gift of the time slowingness, I can support you in your endeavors, which means go watch Gal Gaigar right now. Also, Om Butts Eternal." Om Butts.
Butt.
I don't know if I can watch Gal Gaigar right now. We're kind of streaming.
Stream
but,
it.
So, yeah. Stuff happening. But I do like reading the chat, however, oftentimes I am a little preoccupied waiting, like fighting, running around and the like, and I don't have the chance to sit here and just read the chat the whole way through. So, if you really want to get my attention, put in the @Naka thing that a few people have used up until now. I'm sorry I haven't responded to your comments yet. I have been speaking things.
But that's @Nakate.
Yes, @Nakate. But that is the best way to get my... Yeah, that is the best way to get my attention, as those stand out a far bit more. Stream Gal Gaigar. I think I can have my channel shut down for that.
Probably.
Just curious what programming language and engine, if you're using one, is Welgaia coded in. I am using Multimedia Fusion 2. I'm using that because that is what Konjac used to make Noitu Love 2, and I figured if it's good enough for Konjac, it's good enough for me. However, the game has been in development for a very long time now, and there have been better engines and things that have come out since then, but I'm far enough in development of Welgaia that I'm not going to start over on a new engine.
Oh, I just want to give everyone a heads up. I'm probably going to drop out of the game, not the stream, but the game at 8:50-ish, if I don't disconnect first. Because Ludum Dare is tonight, and Ludum Dare is a 48-hour game jam that starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. Make a game in 48 hours, and I'm going to be doing that. So...
It's going to be great.
I've got a half hour before I'm going.
Yep.
Which also means that the theme for Ludum Dare is going to be live streamed as soon as it hits.
And as Itinerant Soldier says, Konjac is actually using something different now as well. He's no longer using Multimedia Fusion.
Yeah, he's using a Construct Classic.
Yeah, the older version of Construct, not the
HTML5 version.
Yeah. Which is largely the reason I wouldn't want to use Construct, is I'm just not... I don't know, I don't like the HTML5 thing.
Well, Construct Classic is, Windows-based.
Yeah. So I figured, like, I would maybe use that, but it's not getting updated and, like, having neat stuff added to it anymore.
I don't think so.
It's been effectively abandoned.
I think it's open source now, actually.
Do I know how to code save a program on C++? I have a bachelor's in computer science. I learned a fair amount about C++. So I can code the poo out of C++. I have a Mario blooper. Or I heard you like Mario bloopers, and I have a Perler one if you want it. That sounds awesome. I don't really have a place for people to send stuff, though. And I don't exactly want to give away my address.
Yeah. I mean, you'd need a P.O. box, but I
yeah.
don't know what goes into getting one of those. And
we're still waiting for a third person to hop on, by the way, and reminder that Barry is going to be dropping out at,
8:50-ish.
Yeah, probably about 8:50, so
I can get ready.
We've only got about half an hour before even she has to drop out.
Get on that getting in.
$2.74 in from SS2 Jet, who says, been a while since I last donated. Just thought I gave a little something along with something heartfelt. But Naka is eternal, and Tainabera shall rule the world.
Oh, man! I want to do that thing.
Oh, man, somebody's hopping in. Oh, man!
Who's hopping in? Wham!
It's Wham!
Wham!
Now we just gotta go find AC/DC and cars. Okay, man, let's get going. Frickin' got pee. I should have cleared out my inventory while we were waiting, because I'm sure it's full as poo now. Okay, I'm gonna go do a very, very quick dumping of items. Okay, is there anything... I don't want to get rid of those bloods. Because they were presents. I have a whole lot of these. Darkness, thunder, wood, fire, fire, fire! Fire, water, earth. Okay, we're good there, good there. Twin blade, twin blade. Weapon for heavy blade I can get rid of. And I cannot equip that. Okay, that is the quickest selling of crap that I can do. Wham can wreck some face, so let's go to, if I'm level 10... Level 12, level 4, level 6... I think somebody mentioned that there was a desert-type area that we have not yet been to. So I'll maybe try to get a fire area. 10 wood. Wood. 10 fire. Broccoli.
Oh.
Is there a limit on the items being in your menu in Frägment? If you mean like the items in my inventory, there is a limit. You can only store up to 99 of each item, and you can only have, like, I think 40 different items total across all your various categories. Or something like that. Where did I buy my swap magic disc from? To be honest, I do not remember. It was a long time ago. And 2, I have a Steam game in my inventory. May I temporarily add you on Steam? You can add me on Steam permanently if you want. I just need to know that you are the one who's adding me.
Oh no.
Oh, we've already lost Barry?
Oh no.
We waited too long, man. Okay, we'll go back to this area. Let's grab Barry and we'll go back in.
I'm sorry, I failed.
Yeah, I am happy to add people on Steam if you can track me down.
Probably not during the stream.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it in the middle of the stream. But I need to know that you know that I am a person. I don't add just, like, everybody that's fudging around. In general, if you are in the Vagrant Epochers Steam group, that's a pretty good idea for me to know. So, like, if you're in that, then I got a pretty good idea that you know who I am. Okay, Barry's rebooting. And she'll be back on in a sec.
I'm sorry, I failed.
Apples, oranges, or pineapples. Pineapples are pretty alright, but I may go with apples.
Apples. I don't like either oranges or pineapples. But mandarin oranges are delicious. Do those count as oranges? I don't think those count as oranges. They're very different.
I'd count them as oranges. They're not like oranges, but I'd count them.
I wouldn't, just because of how different they are.
Long-time lurker on the channel. Have I had a chance to see the new Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth game yet? Aside from various, is the VE Steam group still active? To be honest, I don't know. I haven't checked up on it in a really long time. And also, to be honest, the VE forum is sorted. 45 bloody dollars from Melphus999. He's the guy who did the Grandia 2 reference last time. I remember him.
Oh.
Who says, "Greetings and salutations, Nakate. I spent like 15 minutes thinking about something to say to you, but all I get is the fact that you are awesome, Naka, and your Let's Plays are the best. Cheese for key. Thank you." Thank you, Melphus, and as long as you are still the high donator, for one, you get the copy of Risk of Rain, as long as nobody one-ups him, and on top of that, I'm not entirely sure what keyword you... Oh, no, cheese. Cheese. Got it. Right. I'm not dumb.
Broccoli is 2, right?
Hmm?
The keyword broccoli?
I don't remember.
Okay. I'm coming back.
Is it possible to code save points or options in C++? You can code anything in C++. It's a programming language.
Well, almost. You can't code C++ to deposit chocolates into my mouth.
Okay, well, it's a computer programming language. But, like, it's a programming language. It's not an engine. It's not some higher level thing like Multimedia Fusion, where you're... Well, what's the trade? It's not some higher level, like, like higher level engine or anything, like Multimedia Fusion or Construct. It is a programming language. You can do anything. Oh, he's giving me things.
If you know how, you can do it.
Is he good? I think he's good. What is this first option?
I don't know.
Oh man, I got things! Okay, what did he give me? He gave me a Darkness Hood. Oh my. I don't know if I'm gonna have the SP to cast Olrepth.
Oh!
And then what else did he give me? Oaken
Oh.
Solarets, which are also pretty frickin' awesome.
Oh, he's doing a thing. Demon Cloak.
I still have my Ray, which is better than the Vampire Blades. But I don't want to, like, completely wreck them. Well, they're not that much better. I may just go with the Ray.
Okay, you know what?
Oh, I lose life
I
drain,
don't
though.
want to lose these things that Wham just gave me, so I'm gonna log off.
Okay.
And then log back on.
Save your
Otherwise-
stuff.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would lose them, I know it.
And I will take this moment to set my triangle shortcut to something else. Okay, Terror Cyclone is my attack, Data Drain, Valkyrie. Okay, that's my, triangle is my heal. So I need to set Olrepth.
Saving!
Magic skills. I've got a lot of magic skills. I'll just go ahead and stick with... Oh no, I'll go with Ru-Rom, actually. That means I'm be more likely to hit things. Thanks a bunch, Wham! Have I ever played any of the Romancing Saga games? I feel like I have,
Okay, so
but I
as
don't
soon as
remember it all.
As soon as I get back on, we should jump back into that
Alright.
Area. Because...
Can I make my computer shoot rainbow lasers from its webcam in C++? You can if you try really freaking hard. If I were to fall in love, what kind of berry would it be with? Clearly a strawberry.
That's an interesting question.
And actually in response to Lenny's kind of ridiculous webcam thing, not gonna lie, not as far-fetched as one would think. Like, I'm not kidding when I say C++ can do pretty much anything to modify crap. I mean, it's not gonna actually shoot a thing out,
They
but...
actually put a text there telling you how to get to the area server.
Oh man. What is my take on the Metal Gear Solid games? I thought they were more alright earlier on than now. I think by this point the story's just gotten so convoluted and ridiculous that I'm not interested.
Okay. I have returned.
Do I like Tales of Vesperia? To be honest, I don't remember Tales of Vesperia. Yeah, I don't remember Tales of Vesperia. I don't think I've played that one. How many data bugs show up in Frägment? It actually depends entirely on the level of the server. Yeah, it does actually depend entirely on the level of the server. And currently our server is low enough level that we won't be seeing much in the way of... I thought I heard a guy.
Wait, where are you?
Yeah, you got lost.
I was equipping a thing.
Wham's here. There you are.
Hi. Give me a second, I need to
Okay.
shortcuts. No!
Wrong shortcut.
Revive me or I'll haunt you.
What is my favorite dot hack grunty food? Probably an Ono melon. Because Ono melon. Vesperia was 360. Well, that would explain why I've never played it. I think I'd probably play the new Tales game.
Okay.
Probably not, if only because I'm kind of out of my JRPG phase. Heck yeah. If only because I'm kind of out of my JRPG phase. I just don't have the free time anymore to devote to playing through a game that's like 60, 70 hours. I just don't have it in me anymore. Well, shouldn't say I don't have it in me anymore.
Ow.
Oh no!
Ah!
I think I healed you. I maybe healed you.
Yes.
I healed somebody. I don't know who.
Yes, you healed me for 400 health.
Ulrepthio!
Okay, I'm gonna unequip this, because it uses all of my SP.
Which Smash newcomer was I most hyped for? Frickin' Mega Man. Says his was Robin, and to be honest, I don't really get a lot of the hype around a lot of the... like the various Fire Emblem characters. Like, Fire Emblem's alright, but they're not like these... for the most part, they're not these, like, super great iconic characters. Like, they're not like a frickin' Mega Man. Super fighting robot!
Okay, we're good.
I am the reason one person plays Trove, and in turn, indirectly, the reason another person plays Trove. How do I feel about that? Pretty alright. I'm glad people are enjoying the game, and I'm glad I could bring something to people to get them excited and interested in something that they may not have otherwise known about or gotten into. So that's kind of cool.
Trove's alright. Oh.
I sorta wrecked him. I should not do that again. I have no SP anymore. Okay, let's keep going this way.
Is this the desert type area you were looking for?
No.
No, this is not a desert. This is a floor is lava. 20 minutes until jam!
Somebody asks, what is Trove? Trove is the game I played last week on here. I'm currently in the process of uploading the video to YouTube, so y'all will be able to see what Trove is. But Trove is kind of like... I guess you could say Trove is kind of like what Cube World could have been. Like, it's a voxel-based action game with a small amount of, like, crafting, but a lot more emphasis on the action and the fighting and the gearing yourself up and that. But you can do all kinds of neat building and stuff, too. Like, again, it's kind of like what Cube World could have been if it weren't almost abandoned. Is Ogre ever going to join Frägment Friday? Probably not. He'd have to join via Skype, because he's never going to be just, like, over here. Unless by some chance we have to record on a Friday, and it goes over way too long, and he just decides, whatever. But considering it goes on until 10, he's not going to want to be out and about until 10.
Yeah.
So I very much imagine he would much rather... like, if he ever joined, he'd join in via Skype. To be honest, I don't imagine he would be super interested in joining via Skype, because there's not a lot he could do. Other than just, like, be there and commentate.
Mm.
But to be honest, I haven't actually asked his... I haven't actually asked his opinion. Where am I going?
I want to be carried on Wham's shoulder. I want to be that tall.
What game has my favorite soundtrack?
Just carry me like Raban carries the Sultana.
Raban. I don't know where you guys are, but I'm soloing a guy.
I'm gonna admit the only reason I can remember his name is because of that. Otherwise, he's that one guy that starts with an R.
Okay, I was answering. What game has my favorite soundtrack? There's a lot of games that I really like the soundtrack to. VVV is a super freaking awesome soundtrack. Grandia 2 has a pretty awesome soundtrack. I don't know if I can especially pick a favorite, though. Hack has a pretty great soundtrack. Well, good thing that was a chest. Now I want to stab him before he dies. Oh no, I got fired. Yeah, I stabbed him once.
You life drained him.
I'm a contributor. Oh man. We gotta get you that thing so you can level up.
Yeah.
I got
Of
a
course,
stun
I'm gonna
sword.
start at level 1 as soon as you get me it. Unless there's like magically a way to transport data from a PC onto a memory card.
Do an awakening on the next big guy. You know you want to. I actually do kind of want to. I don't know if we have the capability of doing an awakening.
I don't see the nubblies.
No, I hit the wrong button.
Good job.
Magic skills. Yeah, I don't think we can. Yeah, I don't see the little symbols in the corner either. Is there like too big a level gap or what? I don't know.
I saw them earlier.
In this in this area?
I think so.
Wonder what happened then.
I don't know.
What does that say? H.
H?
I have to like fix this one so it doesn't say H. I probably edited it while I was like fudging around and had no idea what I was doing. There's 2 portals left, but I only see one of them. Have I ever played Final Fantasy? Have I ever played Final Fantasy besides 14? I assume you mean any Final Fantasy other than 14, and yes, I've actually played most of them. Ah, no!
Oh, I'm confused.
Oh, no.
I'm just gonna do 1 damage.
Yeah, thankfully mages getting confused is pretty alright because they run up and boop you.
Dang it, I keep pressing the wrong button. Just standing around going, okay, I understand.
Where is that last portal? There's one. Oh, it's northwest. So it's this way. Let's see here. I have one of the various ports of Final Fantasy 1, but I've not played it. I've not played Final Fantasy 2. I've played Final Fantasies... I'm pretty sure I played 3. I know I played 4. Don't remember if I played 5. I know I played 6, 7, 8, 9...
15 minutes
10,
until Ludum Dare.
12... I have not played 13. I've also not played 10-2 because I was disappointed enough in 10-1. Going places.
Give me a second, I'm retweeting a very important thing.
Yeah, I'd have to actually look at what some of the earlier Final Fantasies were about. Because I know which ones I've played, but I don't remember, like, the number of them. I know I played 6, and I played, like, at least 2 others. Before 6. Let's go to dungeon! Have I heard of Project Zomboid? I've heard of it, but I don't remember anything about it. Dungeon! Do I have an opinion on Bayonetta? I think it's pretty alright. I think the character's pretty cool, and I think the games are suitably action-packed and epic. I actually been meaning to play through some of the Bayonettas, but I just never have.
Some of the Bayonettas, as in there's more than 2.
Yeah.
Treasure.
How hard was it for Barry and Ogre to get used to calling me Naka when recording? Actually, not hard at all. For one, when me and Ogre were recording, since it's only me and him there, we very rarely had to call each other by name. And since we never had to call each other by name, it was just never really an issue.
The way that you said issue, like you slowed down, it was just issue.
And then from there, like, we've kind of seen everybody else refer to us by name or by title or whatever long enough that
Is there nothing in here?
doesn't look like it. I went a couple of boxes.
Boxes!
Okay.
Next.
And then Barry actually knew me as a fan before she knew me for reals.
For realsies.
For realsies. And in turn, she was used to calling me Naka before she was used to calling me anything else.
Like butt face.
Shoes or socks? Socks. Unless it's cold.
Can I just stick my feet into a lamb's butt?
That sounds... that sounds horrible. So how about that Space Jam 2? I don't know, man. It's gonna be hard to top Space Jam 1. Also, we're going the complete wrong way, so I gotta go back this way.
Oh, fine. Fine, just confuse me and go into the one...
What do I think of roguelikes, like Chocobo Dungeon or Rogue Legacy? I like Rogue, as they're affectionately referred to. I like Rogue Light. Like, in theory, I really like roguelikes. I like the idea of them, I like playing them. I hate dying and losing 4 hours of poop.
That's a lot of poop.
It's a lot of poop.
Is that coffee poop?
Coffee makes me poop.
I can't deal right now. I'm done.
Oh, it's a big guy.
Oh.
A couple of big guys.
Move, Tanaberry.
What's this button? Data drain. We had a couple of, stockings at Target with letters on them, and I came by one day, and I saw that somebody had arranged them to spell out poop.
That's so mature.
I wanted to take a picture of it.
Yay, the mimic. Oh, there's 2 mimics.
Oh no!
Die, mimic.
Oh, good. He died. How long have I been playing Dot Hack in general, and what's my favorite class? In general, I've been playing it since Infection. So whenever that came out, back in
There's a chest.
high school.
Do you want that?
And one person says everybody hates dying in rogues, and though true, I mean, not like people like it. Who's gonna be that guy? Runs in, puts 3 hours of work into the game, and then dies because like, oh man, dying is gonna be so great! Like, nobody likes it, but for me, it's not just a deterrent, it doesn't feel like a good part of the gameplay to me. Like, it makes me want to not play.
I like the ones... I mean, I don't necessarily like the idea of dying, but I think the ones that, sort of propagate the things that you did into the next generation are interesting. So, like, when you die, your heir or whatever gets some amount of, like, buffs, or some personality trait, or whatever. Or, like, inherits your heirloom sword.
What was that game called? Was it like Rogue Legacy or something that did that? It was kind of a roguelike platformer, like action platformer, sort of. And it did a thing where...
I'm confused!
Oh no.
I'm smacking a guy. Doing 1 damage
Yeah,
to him.
casting spells! Not working at all. Gonna go back to stabbing him.
Also, 9 minutes until hype. Hype. How long is this dungeon?
That's a good question. It is 5 floors.
Yeah, I'm not sticking around.
Alright, me and Wham are gonna have to knock out the rest of this thing.
I got places to be. Like Twitter. Stalking the Ludum Dare page, waiting for them to announce the theme.
Okay, let's just book to the bottom then. Do I prefer the heat or the cold? The heat. Fudge the cold. Outright. I want to live in a desert.
I don't.
Okay, no, admittedly, that would be horrible. But, like, fudge the cold. Will you or do you have Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth? I may get it for Barry. But personally, I've mentioned many times before throughout the... Hey, a chest. I've mentioned many times before throughout the 2 Persona LPs that we did that though I completely understand that they're good games and they were enjoyable enough, but they're not my kind of games.
Yes, but Corn Dog Lady!
Which is why if I'm getting it so you can play it.
Corn Dog Lady! I'm confused.
Oh no, Mimic.
No, I'm asleep. Never mind. Wait, no, I'm both.
Alright, well, you just stay asleep for a little while, and hopefully all these problems will solve themselves.
We're just gonna take a nap. I'm gonna be like that one Moogle, like, I think I have to lay down now.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta lay down. Let's just go straight. See if we can, like, break through to the lower floors.
And then he says, but Chibi Koromaru! And I agree.
Okay, he's asleep. I was worried Wham was charmed for a moment there, because if he was, that would end horribly for everyone.
Do I have anything to help? Okay, somebody took care of it.
Yeah, those status effects wear off on their own quickly enough that they're not a big deal.
Chibi Fuka!
Oh my. She's already chibi.
Chibi Fuka!
What's a chibi chibi?
Chibi Chibi.
Oh man, it's a thing. Where am I going? I'm running the entirely wrong way. To glory and loot! Oh, there's not a lot we can do in this dungeon to shorten it up. Grabbing chests, though.
Okay.
I mean, it's right there. Yeah, there's not a lot. This floor in particular is. There's not a lot we can do. There should only be like one good fight, though. Oh, I missed a chest. Oh well. Oh, what are my thoughts on the Binding of Isaac Rebirth? I'm not. I tried looking into it, but I don't entirely understand what they changed in Rebirth. Like, what exactly Rebirth is. It looked like it was effectively the same game as before. But then, like, I have no idea what was going on in a lot of the late game in Binding of Isaac. Like, I beat Mom once, and I called it.
Guat says, they somehow made Shinji slightly cute. How? He was kind of adorable to begin with.
Shinji was alright.
He was like... 5 minutes!
I'm hurrying.
Twitter now does this thing where it, like, auto-updates.
Alright, I think Kaiser's heading out. Take care, Kaiser. And thank you once again.
But, like, Shinji was sort of cute. Like, he cooked and he really liked Korra. He was like tsundere for Koromaru or something.
But how do I feel about Final Fantasy 15? I've mentioned this before. No, well, I can cut out
Thank
a
you,
couple
Kaiser.
But I've mentioned this before, but Final Fantasy 15 I'm not exactly excited for.
It's like...
Mostly because it feels too...
No, I'm asleep!
Oh, no. Okay, I got... No, Wham's got it. Like, it feels too real world. And that goes to stuff like the infamous car thing. And that's where I've also heard other people then cite that, like, well, Final Fantasy VIII had cars. And, like, it did have cars, but it treated them in a very different way. Whereas Final Fantasy 15 just feels like...
I'm sleeped.
So am I.
Oh no.
Like, 15 feels like it's almost real world. Just like, it's just a couple of actual dudes. Okay, we want to go left.
People keep asking where I'm going in approximately 3 minutes. And I am doing... I'm not going anywhere, I'll still be, like, talking, but I'm not going to be in the game. I am doing that thing what I just posted in the chat.
Boss!
That's not a boss.
I'm gonna cast a spell.
He's just real big.
I nuked him. I cast a spell on him.
Good job.
I cast the spells what make the dragons fall down.
That's my job. You stole it.
I've missed like 4 chests. I'm
sorry.
trying to get us to the bottom!
I'm sorry. Do you have a beard, or would you like one?
I have a very short scruff beard, because I'm too lazy to clean shave.
You got stubblies.
So I do as much as an electric shaver will get me.
You have somewhere between sandpaper and the rough side of Velcro, depending on the day.
I don't know, I think
I
even
descri-
I think even after shaving it's a little longer than sandpaper.
You were the one who described it as sandpaper.
Oh, I mean that's what it feels like.
Besides, I said somewhere between sandpaper. Technically, I'm correct.
Ah, Cerberus. But yeah, my problem with Final Fantasy 15 though was that it feels too real in that regard. And that's something that I just do not like about it. Like, I want to play RPGs and JRPGs to be in this, like, fantastic other world.
1 minute, so hype!
I don't want it to just be a frickin' regular place.
Oh, we made it! Go get
We
your
did!
phone.
Okay, if you're heading out, then let's get the crap out of here.
Yeah.
We did the thing, though.
Ba-da-da-da-doo.
Anamanaguchi. I've heard the name, I do not know what it is. I feel like I should know. They don't sell laptop, motherboard, anything at Target.
Alright, someone can take my place now.
Target is a... I mean, Target is like a multifaceted store, so we've got like clothing and toys and food and toiletries and... If you specifically want like a computer part, you're not gonna get it at a... at a general merchandise store. If you want a laptop motherboard, you're going to either have to go to an electronics store specifically, something like Best Buy. But even then, I don't think Best Buy would have it. They might. But I think if you really want it, you'd have to go to like specifically a computer store. Newegg, if you want to get one online, is probably one of the best places. Favorite character class for...
I don't like this theme. The theme for Ludum Dare is entire game on one screen.
See, you can have fun with that, though.
I have an idea for it.
You can have fun with that, though. Like, you can have, like, say, the one screen, but then, like, things come on and off of the screen.
I'm just gonna pat you on the head and... I have ideas for it.
Like, even, like, obstacles and rooms and all kinds of stuff. Like, you get to you have to, like, work your way through a maze to get to one side of the screen, you hit a thing, and, like, the whole maze disappears and a new maze appears. Or maybe, like, the maze only appears as you're close to him. I want to make a game.
Stop streaming .hack and make a game. You should do Ludum Dare with me. Except you'd have to work for, like, 90% of it.
Yeah, and I've got a well Gaia, too.
Yeah, but it's only, like, 2 days.
I'm good, thanks. Would I like an extended free trial of EVE Online? I'm sorry, I'm good. I know full well what I would need to do to get involved in EVE Online, and honestly, if you're not willing to contribute your entire life to the game, you're not really gonna get anywhere. Add to that, like, the difficulty curve in getting into EVE Online, as well as far along as everybody is online, it's hard for new players that even do know what they're doing. but like just mentally the learning curve to get into EVE Online is more like running face first into a cliff.
Like the snowman, my heart has been melted and crushed into a small little ball used to chuck at my face. Is someone's response to, theoretically, the theme.
Okay, since Barry has dropped out, though, and she's going to be either thinking about or messing around on Tumblr for the sake of the Ludum Dare, we are welcoming a third person in. I think I remember somebody mentioning before that they would hop in as soon as Barry dropped out.
Yes, somebody take my place. I have a notification.
Oh, I have 5 of these now. Magic defense, magic attack, physical accuracy, physical defense, physical attack. That's a lot of stuff. When did I get 10 of these? Oh well.
Somebody says, so basically the theme is to make a video game.
Okay, what do I got here? Darkness, thunder, wood, fire, fire.
And I think somebody nailed what I dislike about this theme. I like more theme-based themes. Entire game on one screen is a technical limitation.
Heavy blade I do not need. Light, light, head, head, heavy. Light, heavy. I very much doubt I got anything good. Emulator Online hates me and I disconnect in like 5 minutes. That's kind of how emulator works. You just kind of have to roll the die and hope for the best.
Also, the Ludum Dare site crashed.
Oh no.
Mostly because it's theme announcing time. It does this every year.
Somebody said that they could give me a copy of Bayonetta or some such. I actually own the original Bayonetta. I do not own Bayonetta 2, but I do actually own the first one.
Oh man.
Okay, so I can get rid of all of my gear. Okay, inventory's clean. We're still waiting on that person. I know somebody said they wanted to hop in, and I am good to go. Let's have auto run not wreck me. So how good am I at jumping across treetops and Trove? I don't know, you give me enough jumps I can jump across anything. I'm alright at it. Oh, somebody asked... I think somebody asked before, if anything had been done on Welgaia, or how Welgaia is coming along. And I have actually, now that I've finished Luciana, which you can find on DeviantArt and my Tumblr, and Gazen's even done some fan art. In fact, a couple people have done some fan art of Luciana, and it's super awesome. I really love fan art, guys. It's super great. And I get super excited.
You're excited.
But now that that's done, I have actually been getting back to work on Welgaia, and granted, I've just been squeezing in a little bit of work when I get the chance. But I'm about halfway through making the template rooms for the next area. Like, honestly, sit me down for a couple hours, and I can finish the templates for the next area, and then it's a matter of figuring out what I actually want to do with the rooms. Favorite character class for .hack is Twin Blade. D&D Pathfinder is Bard. Fourth edition Bard. I don't know any other bards. I haven't played any other bards. But 4th edition bard is pretty great. Specifically a songbow bard. What do I plan to do before I kick the bucket? I don't know. I haven't played Kick the Bucket. I've played Kick the Can. I don't have any. I don't really have any plans though to actually play. I'll just assume you mean Kick the Can. I haven't had any plans to play Kick the Can in a really long time. I used to do it back at camp when I went to summer camp. But since I guess I don't know when the next time I'm going to do it is, I didn't really have any plans that I wanted to get done before that happens. And really, you can kind of do it any time, and not like it's interrupting a lot of things. I guess I would want to finish up anything I was working on at the moment, because like it's going to waste an hour otherwise.
Let's go get a bucket right now.
Oh, dang. Well, I guess in that case I want to finish this stream before I do it. Oh. Panzer Wolfbane says he actually works for the company that makes Eve. That's pretty awesome. You know, I haven't played many fighting games, but I did play a little bit of Soul Calibur 2. And it was alright. Are there any powers or abilities about Ogre's character that I can reveal? I have mentioned that not really anything that I haven't revealed already. He has control over the elements to a small degree. Like he can shoot a little bit of an icy mist out. He can kind of generate a little bit of a whirlwind. Like a little things, but not like super powerful elemental control. And the bigger issue is, or the one thing I should clarify though, is that Ogre is not an ability user like other people are. His abilities actually come from a different source entirely, and that is something that I cannot reveal. What's the most fall damage I've taken in any game ever? I know I've died a couple times taking fall damage in Final Fantasy. That's probably up there. If that's not the fall damage I've taken, Trove like caps your fall damage, so I can't really say that.
Yeah, Trove fall damage is a joke.
Like I have legit jumped off of the top of the map. Like I could not build any higher. I jumped, hit the ground, and lived. It took off like 200 HP.
Oops.
But I've died a couple times to fall damage in Final Fantasy, and that's like, I mean, that's like 6,000 damage. I know there was that one time I jumped off a cliff in Terra by accident.
Entire game on one screen inside an entire game on one screen inside an entire game on one screen inside of an entire game on one screen. I'm just going to recite Twitter responses. That's gonna be the rest of the stream.
And Hawkpath, that's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to give a number for that because, like, every game is going to be very different, and like 1,000 HP in one game can be 100 HP in another, the equivalent of 100 HP in another. But if you're looking strictly for the longest, or like the largest number, then I don't know, it should be pretty simple to just find any, like, a list of games that do fall damage, and then figure out which one, like, caps HP the highest. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure, though. I feel like I've jumped off some pretty high things, but When I finish Well Gaia, do I think I'll make a series of it? There are actually 3 games that I intend to make over the next 40 years.
40. Please don't take that long.
That's probably how long it's going to take.
No, that's too long.
But there are 3 games that I wanted to make total. And the third one, I can't exactly even add another game after the third one either. It's a 3-game set. It ties up the story.
By the end of you making the third game, the graphics are going to be perfectly realistic by today's standards, but it's going to have been so long that today's standards of realism will be retro. Somebody posted the entire voting results for Ludum Dare. Snowman came in 3rd place.
Oh man.
Snowman was real close.
Okay, I meant to ask if you were doing a Let's Play, if I would do a Let's Play of Well Gaia, not necessarily if it was a series of games. And I do intend to do a Let's Play of it. I would like to not do it right away. I don't want to go like, hey guys, here's a game and all of it. See everything. But I would like to give it like, I'll probably end up giving it like a week or 2. If I were to start doing stuff with Toho, where would I start? To be honest, I would probably... This is me anyway. I would probably start by watching playthroughs, starting with Toho 6 and working your way up. Try to find ones that leave the dialogue in. And that'll actually get you a pretty good idea of that. And then, like, kind of once you're done with that, go back and find playthroughs of 1 through 5. Okay, no, really, though, we've been standing here for like 10 minutes now. If anybody else wants to join, I really don't want to have to, like, drag Wham out, just the 2 of us. We need peoples! And I know darn well I saw people saying that they were going to join when Barry left.
Excuse me.
Okay, we got a guy trying to get on.
Yay.
So, I know Barry plays Animal Crossing games, but do you enjoy casual games like that, or Sims, or Harvest Moon? I enjoy them, but I also find I get very bored with them very quickly. Those kind of games I actually prefer if, Those kind of games I actually prefer if they're, like, so casual that they're just kind of done on the fly or in the background.
Like idle games?
Idle games, yeah. Something like Cookie Clicker, or I play Dragon Veil on my phone. And that's just something nice that I can kind of poke in on and, like, during my break at work. It's like, hey, it's break time at work. I can hop on and see what's up. It takes me like 20 seconds, and then I can go eat something before going back to work. Chrono Trigger or Chrono Cross? Chrono Trigger, clearly. Chrono Cross had some interesting characters in it, but, like, I don't know, the overall story and the characters, though interesting, they weren't, like, good characters. They were all very two-dimensional. You know, I think I remember Project Zomboid now. I sort of remember it. Interesting concept, especially given that we were all sort of in that big zombie phase. We still are to a degree, but I think for the most part a lot of the zombie phase is past. How far did I get in Cookie Clicker? To be honest, you can't really play Cookie Clicker realistically without cheating, so I kind of did everything you can do. Admittedly, I stopped playing a while back, so there are a number of achievements and things in the game now that I don't have. I don't think I took part in the Business Day event, and there was another event I also don't think I took place in. Okay, Nick Salt was asking for some sage advice. Ask away. What do you need? Legend of Legaia, yes or yes? You only need the one at Nakate, by the way. I can see the first one just fine. But, Legend of Legaia. I gotta remember what that game is. Was that the game with the lady who wore that, like, sort of a latex suit thing and, like, the boots and the little, like, fabric thing around her chest and sort of was raised by wolves and doesn't understand how society works? The other dude in your party fought with, like, a club. Was that Legend of Legaia? What game am I thinking about? Sup, Wham? We're waiting on somebody. I'm about to go into a dungeon. Okay, apparently that was indeed Legend of Legaia. Legend of Legaia was alright. I feel like there were a couple things about it that... Sup, Wham? How you doing? I feel like there were a couple things that I was a little disappointed in the game, but it's been a really long time. I was sort of disappointed with the multiple choice ending, though. Like, after you beat the final boss, they give you, like, 15 choices, and whichever one you pick gives you a different ending. I was a little disappointed with that. I was a little disappointed that there was no, like, real romance or anything in the game. Because they kind of started out from the start and said, hey, by the way, the main character's got a girlfriend. And then you never see her again for the rest of the game. And at the end of the game, you go back to her and they're all happy. And they're like, hey, you're back. It's just like an excuse to not have any romance in the game at all. Is you just have to keep reminding him, like, hey, he's got a girlfriend, by the way. I don't know, it seems like a cop-out. Write me a romance, god dang it. And Air Gamer, yeah, nobody else is connecting. It has legit been 20 minutes. Nobody is getting on. Anybody. All you people... Hey, somebody's trying to get on, finally.
Yay!
Leo! Not having a romance subplot? That sounds horrid. I know! Leo! Alright! Finally got a full group again. Let's go! Where we're going. Let's go... Let's not level 15. I'm pretty sure it's a fire area. No, not a level 15 fire. Not a level 16 fire. Finally, we can get back into the swing of things. A level 11 wood. Wood. Okay, give me something in the neighborhood at least, god dang it. Give me like a 10 or 11. I'm not even that concerned with the area type anymore. 12 may be a little high, I'm not going to risk it. 10 earth, good enough for me. What advice do you have for someone who gets agitated, then finds it difficult to calm down and gets worse as time passes? That sounds like me. If you find a solution, by the way, I'm all ears. There's a guy behind us already. Where? I will say, one thing I do is, and this is admittedly difficult to do, but I try to kind of weigh, I guess you can say, how important something actually is. Like, if someone does something that frustrates me, and I just sit there, and I have a really bad habit of if something frustrates me, if someone does something that frustrates me, I will stew. And I will just get more and more frustrated because I'm just stewing in my own juices all day over it. And what I've found... Man, guy fixing that one from sniping that chest. But I found what I tend to do is... I mean, I guess I sort of have to weigh how important it is to me. And on one hand, kind of say, like, is this worth getting upset over? Is how angry I am appropriate for what happened? Or, like, was this a one-time thing? Was this something that will never happen again? If it's a recurring problem, then maybe it needs to be addressed. But if it's a one-time thing, and it'll never happen again, then what's the point of me getting frustrated about it? Like, what's the point of me being angry about something that's now in the past and is never going to affect anything? Like, it's not going to recur, it's not going to be something I potentially have to continue dealing with. Like, it's happened already, it's done. Okay, where am I going? I'm going east. Oh no. Fighting guys, I'm coming! I think they killed it. Yeah, they killed it. Yeah, oh. These guys, like, know where the dudes are or something? Or maybe one of them used a fairy's orb? Okay, we're going... Going this way. Where are they going? Who are you running off and doing your own oh no. We lost Leo.
No.
And Wham's fighting something. Wham's wrecking face is what he's doing. I'm coming! Okay. Well, let's head back out, see if we can't get Leo back in. Mario Maker, an official Wii U Mario level editor, is going to have Super Mario Bros. 1, New Super Mario Bros. U, Super Mario Bros. 3, and Super Mario World skins. Which one are you most hyped for, and which skins do you want in the game? Personally, I want a Super Mario Bros. 3 All-Stars skin. That's the crap I want. Wham is in his 20s. I can handle anything with him there. I can, well, he can. I can die very easily. If I were an adventurer, would I rather have a sword, a bow, or use magic? A sword, man. I like that. I like that physical. I want to feel that impact.
Apparently this theme is very confusing to a lot of people.
So Wham just says he wants to make a Wave Master named R9W, which I'm pretty sure is one of the various R fighters. In fact, the R fighter... Is that the Wave... Is that ship called the Wave Master?
What?
Wham said he wanted to make a Wave Master named R9W, which in R-Type Final you got to see a full list of, like, the 101 different R fighters. And I think the R9W was called the Wave Master. Oh no, Wise Man. That's still pretty good. What is my favorite anime? My favorite anime? There's a lot of animes I like. There's a lot of anime that I like. I don't know if I can pick, like, and say, this is totes my favorite, this one specifically. Because I like a lot of different ones for different reasons. But I think my go-to is usually, like, Gurren Lagann. By the way, if anybody wants to... Oh, Leo's back in.
Oh, man.
The R9A4 is the Wave Master. I want to make a Wave Master named R9A4. Hey! I have a welcome back. Do I have a welcome back? I have a welcome back. Welcome back! Yeah, Leo's got a tan on him.
Boop.
We're gone! Barry has been kidnapped by a group of space mimics. Are you bad enough to save your waifu? Darn tootin'. I gotta step up to the plate on that one, man.
Farewell.
Where's my sword? Let's just go to the dungeon. Yeah, let's just go to the dungeon if potentially Leo's gonna be disconnecting. Let's go to dungeon! If I could have one superpower between electricity, neon, smoke, video, or concrete. I'm not sure if there were supposed to be commas somewhere, or if some of those were supposed to be combined. Because, like, I'm not entirely sure how video is a superpower. Or neon. I can make things very bright.
Neon smoke video.
It's all one superpower.
Yes. You can project videos of neon smoke wherever you want. Even in the air. Which would actually be sort of useful.
Well. Where am I going? I'm running into a wall. So, like, I don't entirely understand neon or video. Electricity would be an alright power.
A really small one-screen Metroidvania.
Oh, man. Dude, you could do that. Like, your character is like 1 pixel.
Theoretically.
Oh, I'm apparently trading?
I'm not going to do that, but...
I'm getting a health ring. No, I'm full on health drinks. I can't do it. I'm full. I have 99. Raging Earth. They are the power sets from Infamous. They are all separate. The guy's got some interesting powers then. Ah, there was a chest behind me.
Oops. I forgot to make the ground solid.
Oh, well, that'll do it. Video allows you to disappear, shoot minigun projectiles, summon angels, and sword rockets. I don't see how that has anything at all to do with the video. I'm sorry I keep getting left behind. I'm trying to read the chat.
I'm gonna do entire game on one screen by making a game that I was intending to make anyway, and putting it inside of a computer with scan lines.
Mimic! Okay, I killed the Mimic. Come here, you! One more just for good measure. This why? What power would be best for transportation, ice, fire, or electricity? You are correct in that, like, you could, like, freeze the ground and then skate, but, like, I don't know, to be honest, you don't go that fast skating unless you're, like, a frickin' pro skater with, like, the best frickin' gear and everything. If you could turn into electricity, electricity would pretty easily be the best choice there. Just hop into the electrical wires and you're like at school at the speed of light. Actually, not quite that fast. I think that moves a little differently than the speed of light. Electricity moves differently than the speed of light, but still really frickin' fast. Going right. What is my opinion on Chugga Conroy? I think he's a pretty alright guy. I mean, I know he's an alright guy. He always tries to help out, tries to, like, a super nice guy, all that fun stuff. So, like, himself, I do hold in very high regards. I like the amount of effort and the quality and the practice and the prep that he puts into his, as well as even in the execution, that he puts into his videos, so I very much respect that. Personally, his commentary style doesn't really appeal to me personally. So I don't really watch his videos myself, but I do have a lot of respect for him. Okay, we're almost done with the first floor. And SS2 Jet, actually what you said right there is pretty much one of the sole reasons why I don't give out my name.
What happened?
Oh, he just referred to Chugga Conroy by his actual name.
Ah.
But that's one of the reasons why I don't give out my actual name. Truth be told, people know my name. I mean, what harm is that gonna be? The difference is, as far as I'm here, like, as long as I'm here online, this is not... My persona online and who I am online and everything that's going on there, I'm Naka. That's who I am. As long as I'm online, I'm Naka. Oh dear, Mimic. Like, as long as I'm on... Ow. 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 I was the victim of the wrong end of a confusion.
No.
I didn't die. But it hurt a little. Like, the difference is, like, as long as I'm online, though, I'm Naka. I want people to call me Naka. That's why I named my YouTube account Naka. Like, if I wanted to be called by actual name online, I would have named my YouTube account my actual name. And the difference, though, is, like, as soon as people find out your actual name, they will refer to you by that. And, like, I'm not close enough to have that many people, like someone that I completely don't know, refer to me by my actual name, when the name that I've presented to them is a different name than the one they're referring to me as. Honestly, it feels sort of like even working at Target, I've got a name tag. And it feels like when some random guy walks up to me and refers to me by name. Like, I know I've got my name tag there to be friendly and all, but, like, don't call me by name out of the blue like that. It's awkward. I don't know who you are. Cut it out. Do what everybody else does. Call me sir or whatever. But just don't come up and like start talking to me as though we're like good friends or whatever and we know each other a bunch, because I know I've got my name out there, but I'm not on a first name basis with everybody on the planet. That's awkward. And now that I've spent an unorthodoxly large amount of time speaking about that, where am I going? No, we can't go that way. Yeah, we can't go that way. We gotta go this way first. Gotta go this way first. Okay, there's chest in here, I think. I think there's a chest. Yes, there is.
I'm sorry I'm quiet.
If I were on a first name basis with everybody on the planet, what would I do? I would be very uncomfortable and I'd probably never leave the house. But, like, to tie back into what I said before, as far as people actually knowing my name, I don't give a crap. Like, whatever. What harm is that going to be? My problem is that people will then refer to me by name when I don't want to be referred to by name.
I made something terrifying.
Oh, man. And there's honestly nothing that can be done about that. Like, as long as people would know my name, people would. Because they want to be familiar with me. They want to get closer to me. Despite that I don't. I'm sorry. I meant, what would you do with all the connections and whatnot? I would probably try to get enough money to live comfortably for the rest of my life, and, I don't know, not a lot else. I don't have a whole lot of... I'd maybe try to make the world a better place, I guess. I'm sure I'd get wrapped up into a whole lot of, like, realizing how many bad things are going on, and I'd try to do things to fix them.
This isn't working.
Scorpion tank!
Nope. This ain't working.
Swords, guns, twin blades, or gun swords? I may go with the twin blades on that one. I'm not a gun person. And twin blades is kind of just using a sword, only you're using two. And I've always thought it's awkward, like... Oh no, 4 mimics. I'm charmed. So's Leo. I'm sorry, Wham! I was answering something, I forget what. Oh, the Twin Blades thing. If you're fighting, like, with only one sword, I've always thought it was really awkward. Like, what the crap do you do with your other hand? Actually, I want to go this way. So there's a chest back here. Where is it? It's right in front of me.
Well, if you're done, Ben, you can't use it.
But, like, I always thought that was awkward to have, like, a sword in one hand and then just nothing in my other hand. Which is, like, I like using two swords for that. So, twin blades over one sword, anything over gun, because I'm not a gun person. I'm not huge on gun sword either, if only because, like, I don't know about gun sword, man. Oh, no.
Kumakaori, no, I did not do that. I made a terrible thing that isn't working.
Oh, no.
Oh.
We lost Leo.
Oh.
I guess we could try to run through the rest of the dungeon real quick. We're on the 3rd floor. We're gonna have to, like, blitz through, I guess. I want to give you guys some content. I don't want to just be standing around, so let's get going. Me and you, Wham. Let's just hope we don't get, like, 4 mimics. Okay, got a question about villains. I'll try to read it while I'm not getting attacked by things. Panzerwolf, as far as villains go, it's not that I wouldn't enjoy... It's not that I just can't enjoy villains. If they're not, like, a villain. So, it's not that I can't enjoy a fight like that. That's alright, if I die, I die.
Oh god, what am I... I'm so confused. What did I do?
So yeah, it's not that I can't enjoy a villain like that, but I much prefer another villain. Like, I want a villain that I can hate. I want a villain that I can love because I hate them. I don't want to be, like, kind of sympathetic and going, But they're trying not to do that bad. Like, no, I want to get into that final boss fight and just wreck them. Okay, the quickest way out is... chest. Quickest way out is this way. Deal! See, now that's something, man. You want a villain's villain? Dio freaking Brando. That guy kicks dogs and doesn't give a crap about anybody. Actually, that was far worse than kicks dogs, but that's a story for another time. Scorpion tank. I like the big boss dudes. Like, I like fighting him. The large type enemies. When I finish my book, would you like a copy? I would love a copy. That'd be awesome. How do I feel about using a scythe as a weapon in games? I do not like it. Because scythes, to me, feel like a weapon of angst. Which is something that I do not like at all. They're also terribly inefficient as weapons.
I made a TV.
Oh man. Like, legit, scythes as actual weapons on the battlefield are crap. They're honestly useless. The closest thing to a scythe you get on the battlefield is a battle scythe, which, honest to goodness, is actually just a pole arm.
Somebody is asking if I can see the chat too. I can see the chat. I'm just sort of not really paying attention to it.
Yay! I already have 99 health drinks. Okay, let's get the crap out of here. Does that mean Ruby Rose is useless because she uses a scythe? In real-world combat, she would be. That's not real-world combat, though. That's an internet TV show. I mean, it's not TV, but it's an internet show.
What if the scythe is also a highly customizable, high-impact sniper rifle?
Remove the scythe part of it, and you'll have a much more efficient weapon. Okay, let's see here. It is 9:50. We don't really have I don't know if we have time to do much more. Maybe clear out a field, I guess. Are yo-yos effective as a weapon? No. And by no, I mean yes. Yo-yos are the best weapon.
Can I...
What do I think would happen if Kirby ate Link from Hyrule Warriors? He'd have a pretty awesome scarf is what he'd have. What if the scythe was a sniper rifle that shot more scythes? Are those scythes also sniper rifles? How do I feel about anti-heroes? Anti-heroes are pretty alright. Yeah, it's 9:50 now. We've got about 20 minutes. I don't know if we have time to do a lot. If anybody wants to jump back on, I'll give you a second to hop back on, but we're not going to have enough time to do a full... Admittedly, Death Scythe is actually pretty efficient as far as scythes go. If only because the whole thing is blade. You can hit a guy from every angle. Whereas the vast majority of time when they show scythes used as weapons, only the inside is a blade, and that is a useless weapon. But yeah, Scythe, though, that's an energy blade on every end of it. That's a pretty efficient scythe.
I made a thing.
Oh, man.
Oh, I fell off the screen. Oops. Falling off the screen is a bad idea. Maybe.
Is there any reason you don't carry around speed charms and just run everywhere at 88 miles per hour? For one, I have a couple speed charms, but for the most part, this goes to something I've mentioned before, where I don't use items. I never use items. Because if I use items, then I'll have to buy more items to replace the items I used. And if I have to buy more items to replace the items I use, I'm spending money. And I don't want to spend money. Bow and arrow. I actually had a fair amount of practice with a bow and arrow in back in camp, summer camp, many years ago. I got pretty proficient at firing that thing, and I was like the only person in the camp who could use the frickin' compound bow. That's also where I learned that not only are you right or left-handed, but you are also right or left-footed, and you are also right or left-eyed. Which is frustrating as poo, because I am right-handed, but I'm left-eyed. Which means if I'm going to fire a bow, I have to close my right eye to get the most accurate look, but my left eye is farther from the bow, so it's harder to get it aimed right. Okay, I don't know if anybody else is hopping on. Wham, me and you may want to just go clear out a field or something for a little while. Oh, wait, nope, never mind. Just in time, I was about to hit the button. You're welcome, Lendrox. And don't you worry about dropping out or anything, it happens all the time. A lot of people drop out, because honestly, that'll just happen if you're playing on emulator.
Yeah.
And that's the only way a lot of people can play the game. So I completely understand it.
I may be overthinking this Ludum Dare Jam a theme bit, but
Oh my,
most games I've ever played are on one screen. And then someone replies, all, actually, unless you count extension monitors as separate screens.
I don't...
Technically, multiplayer games wouldn't be on one screen.
Okay, I'm going to a level 13 area because both of these guys can wreck face. Just use my left hand to pull back the string. My left hand doesn't have, like, the strength. I can't hold it steady enough. Alright, let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. I'm gonna hide behind Wham. I don't know where we're going, man. Wham is running. He is off. Oh, we got another one. I'm just gonna follow Wham. He seems to know where he's going. Oh no, I'm tanking. Oh, he bit my face.
Oh no.
Oh man, look at me running. Oh, and I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce your name, so I apologize. Jet, don't you worry about the guides or anything. Like, you do them when you feel you can. I super look forward to them when they come, but don't feel rushed or anything. You take care of yourself. Your own health is far more important. Of note, as far as healers in Final Fantasy go, I made a... Because a lot of the free company transferred to the Genova server. Like, the free company as a whole is moving to the Genova server. I don't know if I want to go. So to help parse it out, I made a new character on the Genova server who is a healer. So I get to learn a little bit of healing. And I named the tiny, adorable Lalafell character Tofu Muffin. Because just once I wanted to have a goofy name, and not one that was taken seriously. She's pretty tiny and adorable. Man, they're gonna kill that thing before I get there. Ah, they did, because I stopped opening a chest. It was a tree, too. I haven't killed a tree yet. Man, you guys are just booking. I guess we're just in this for experience. Not gonna worry about chests anymore. You know, I'm pretty sure it's safe for me to equip the ray. All field portals open! Or more correctly, field portals all open! Oh, we cleared the dungeon. We've still got like 12 minutes left, so... Let's see what we can do in the dungeon!
You mean you've cleared the field?
Yeah, we did. They
You
were
said
booking,
you
man.
cleared the... Never mind. Never mind!
It's hard to take a Lalafell seriously, but I'm tiny and adorable!
Don't you be dissing.
And I will heal the poo out of you! Okay, where's the quickest way down? Left. Yes, this way. Man, these guys aren't messing around. Just freaking full speed, let's go! Freaking gone, man. Who are my least favorite dot hack characters? Who? I'd have to actually look at the roster to be reminded. I remember there are a couple that I wasn't as fond of, though. To be honest, Endurance is one of them. Like, on one hand, I don't like that they did that to Elk, but on the other hand, like, I just don't like characters like that. I know there are other ones, but I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I have to bring up a big list of them. Ah, no, I didn't even get the chance to punch the tree because I was looking at the chat. Son of a gun.
Oh no.
Elk or Tsukasa? I'm gonna go with Elk, if only because Tsukasa was... Tsukasa got better as the show went on, but was kind of a jerk. Elk was like a wet donut and adorable sometimes. I don't know where we're going. We're going west. We're going this way.
I don't know if I want my character to be creepy long legs. Or not. I'm thinking no.
Hmm. Gone, man. Heck yeah. We did the thing. We got a dungeon in. We still got like 10 minutes. Let's just go back and kill things. We got like 10 minutes. What is more effective, punching or kicking? Punching is actually more effective. It's actually been studied, and the worthwhileness of kicks in fighting at all has actually been brought into some pretty serious questioning. Because for the most part, any kick worth a crap has enough of a wind-up that it's got such a huge tell to it that, like, everybody can see it coming, and it's very easy to block. So, to be honest, people have actually begun wondering if it's worthwhile to kick at all in fighting. Man, them some creepy long legs.
They're not as creepy long legs as it used to be.
Man, I didn't even get a chance to hit him. Hold up. Frickin'...
This was creepy long legs before. I turned it to that.
I'm frickin' gone, man.
I'm pretty sure the creepy long legs was creepier long legsier before. What was the sentence?
Have I played a Shantae game? I have played... I played the second one. Crap was it called? And I've been meaning to get Risky's Revenge. Or not Risky's Revenge. Was it Risky's Revenge? Maybe the second game was Risky's Revenge. What was the one that just came out? It was like Pirate's Curse or something, wasn't it? I've been meaning to play that one. I've been meaning to get it and play it. I just haven't had the chance yet. Though I suppose I have more time now that I've beaten Link Between Worlds, so that's that. What is my favorite so bad it's good movie, anime, etc.? To be honest, I generally don't enjoy that kind of thing. Like watching something that is generally like super cheesy and bad. So I can't really say. Most movies, as long as it's been MST'd, most of those movies are pretty alright. Does
something like Shaolin soccer even count?
See, I have a hard time determining that because, like, I just think that was a really good movie, but I don't think it was, like, bad.
It was a movie.
It was most certainly a movie. I think one of my favorite ones was the, honest to goodness, the 4Kids dub of Duel Masters. Like, they weren't even trying to make that. Like, they weren't even trying to, like, leave any semblance of the... Can't see anything? Of the... Like, any semblance of the original show was just gone.
Come on, Photoshop. Work with me. No!
Dungeon portals in. Heck yeah. Guess we're sort of done then. Actually, we're on the first floor. I could probably just walk out. Whatever. Whatever, yo. Was it Cartoon Network that dubbed Duel Masters? I could have sworn it was for kids. That would explain why it was actually decent. Alright, everybody. It's been a super fun time. I'm gonna go back to Vampire Blades. Alright, everybody, it's been a super fun time. It's been a little while since we got a donation in, but I would have brought it up earlier, but oh well. Thank you all very much for coming out tonight. Thank everybody who showed up, especially during the downtime while we're waiting for people to get on. I know there's a couple of regulars that'll get on, but like want to give other people a chance to get on. To be honest, I feel like it's difficult, and I feel like there's just not enough people that want to get on that you really don't have to worry about it. If you want to get on, jump on in. But all said and done, thank you all ever so much for showing up. Thank you to the donators for donating. Thank you to the players for joining in and playing alongside. Thank you all for the support over all this time, and thank you all for being here for the stream. It's been super fun. Until next time, everyone. Melphus, by the way, is the high donator of the evening, which means I'm going to be adding cheese as a keyword. And he also wins a copy of Risk of Rain. So, Melphus, I need you to, if you're even still in the chat, Melphus, I need you to message me here on Twitch. Like, send me a PM here on Twitch, so that I can then give you the thing back. And if he's not here anymore, then I guess I'll have to try to track him down next week. But, until next time, everyone.
If anyone's curious what I'm up to, I just posted a link in the chat. Good night!
Oh, and you made a game.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I know somebody linked it earlier. Want to link it again?
I'll find it.
Because it's a thing. Oh, Melphus said they already have the game? Well, crap.
Oh.
Oh well. Well, I'll stick around and ask him next time.
This was the game that I made over this past month.
So check that crap out. Everybody have a good time. We'll see what Melphus has to say. Because if Melphus doesn't get it, then the high bid is still Kaiser and Kuma, who I'm pretty sure both at this point both have the game. I don't know if Kaiser has it. Kuma declined. I know. But, alright though. Until next time, everyone.
Good night.